Hello everybody. We are going to be doing our thing that we've been doing on here. We are in, just in case you didn't catch the last ones, I would recommend that those just for like why I do some of the things I do and stuff. But I did do a random state generator to choose to start in Louisiana. We are going to be doing probably every state in the U.S. and we'll probably end up, honestly, doing outside of the U.S. too, just because I love this kind of stuff. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We have been working on Northern Louisiana. Shreveport's a hub for me. Monroe's going to be a hub. And then if we get done with this, we will probably try to do, let's just see, I don't even know if we'll be able to get done with this, because sometimes it surprises me how long these things take. So, let's see, we want to get up to El Dorado. What is that? Junction City. What's the best way to do it, though? Do we want to go through Farmersville and then up that way? Well, let me see what the station catchment is here. That is enough people. What about this one? That is also enough people. It might be worth it just so that there's more of a reason for this. Okay. So we will do we'll start out with the tram since we're in town. I did build this. I've explained why I do it this way before. If you're interested to know why, then I don't want to be a broken record for people who's watched the other parts. So I've just explained it before, why I do it the way I do there. But we're going to start out with the tram track in town, which means a fairly slow speed, but that means we're able to build over the road. Okay, and then viaduct, and back to ground. This is still the road that we want, right? Yes. Where is our first station going to be? That makes sense. Okay, and then another viaduct. Something we have to think about too. I mean, I don't know too much about that kind of terrain and like what the requirements are really like in real life. But I do know that this is a swampy state in general. I don't know if the north part is or not, but I know that that is a challenge to build on. we do see some red around here for population, so let's see. Is it enough people? No. What about like in the middle between the two? No, and I'm assuming here also no. Yeah. Okay. I should have switched to medium speed in there, but honestly, like, whatever. I would now, but we're about to go through this little hamlet thing, and I know that that would be challenging. Okay, and then medium speed. We'll do that thing where we build it along the road again. I don't think it really matters as much as long as there's not a bunch of crossroads, but when there, I think for this intersection here, we probably should switch back to tram just to go through this better. Then when should the first station be? Not there. Honestly, I think we probably only need one there. $3,000. I don't know. I guess I have to think of it more as like this is a regional thing. What about like up here though in Union Village? No. What about this area? No. Oh, that's right. We talked about going this way to Bernice. Okay, well first let's get to Farmville. We'll go back to medium speed. And we'll build along the side of the road again. I wonder when there is trains going along the side of the road. I know like a road intersecting it, it would have like the railroad crossing arms like that would come down to stop people from driving through the tracks. But if someone's driveway goes through it, does it then still have that? You know? You know what's funny is I went on a bike ride yesterday. Well, not like a casual bike ride, but like I was going to get food. And there was so many gnats out yesterday. I always forget that this time of year has that issue until it's already here. Sometimes I have to like force myself to build a little bit off of what the road looks like it would be, just because of like the way the thing is here. That's weird. Oh, they annexed just the road. I thought they annexed around the road. I was like, that's really weird. It's like one of those shoestring annexations. That's a weird one all the way up there. I guess I never tested this side of town. I mean, we already built this, but I don't think it would pick up really any new people other than mostly here, so. Okay, we'll continue. Oh, I forgot why I stopped. I stopped because we need to switch to this because of this annoying bit of water. And we're about to have to do it again. Never like really seen too much of like rural Louisiana. I think that that's one of those things, not just there but anywhere. I think a lot of people don't realize what it's actually like in a lot of ways. And they have like, I mean that's fine just not realizing what it's like, but I don't know. Something that's like been annoying me recently, I guess, is like I've heard people say like that they don't like French people, for example, because they say that French people's all rude. Or I've heard a lot of Europeans say that they don't like all Americans because of, well, there's a lot of reasons why you could say that. But it's just annoying to me because it's like you don't know the culture. And I've heard that about like Russians too, for example. But like, even if you don't agree with Russians' politics, which I feel like most Americans probably wouldn't, like, that's not the citizens there, and the citizens aren't allowed to really speak out about it. Like, it can cause jail time or like stuff for speaking out against the government there. So it's not like they just are like being complicit in terms of like they love it or something, you know? Which road? Oh, that's probably like a one-way thing. Okay, I think it would make more sense to build the station on this road then. We're gonna do another one over to Ruston, and then probably another one over to Jonesboro. Kinda, I guess we could do through this, whatever's there, and then down to Ola. Because Alexandria is gonna be a hub too though, so I guess we could at least do Winsboro though. I don't know, we definitely have some more stuff to hit with this after. that when the game does that. I don't know why they do that either. They make the tracks cross, and it messes everything up, so I'll have to redo that section. It was also trying to do some weird bump out thing too. You have to be very careful about how this is done. I seen that there's a game like this called like maybe Subway Builder or something like that, I think might have been the name. That also looks interesting. How long does that go? Oh, the entire rest of the way, so we could maybe do the medium speed tracks in the middle of the road now. Okay. And then it definitely makes laying these down much faster when you're able to just go in the middle of the road like this. I guess we have to pick a side here because something's probably there, so I'll try to go closer to the road. I don't know why else there would be that much space between the road there and that part. Probably here too. We'll be spicy and go along that road this time. Okay, and then what about... Yeah, I didn't think that looked like that would be enough people, but it doesn't hurt to try. I thought that if I clicked it where it was red, I was like, I think if I curve this over, it will take the red off, and it did. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Hopefully there's not like stuff in the middle of this road when it's like skinnier like this. I don't think so, but you never know. Okay, and then now where is the station going to be built? It doesn't really look like there's anything outside of the town that I need to pick up, so honestly, 102 meters, that's fine. I'm not going to stress about 2 meters. I know in real life they probably would want it to be exactly 100 meters, but it's not going to break our bank. Doing an extra 2 meters, it's really going to change hardly anything at all. It's probably like $1 or $2. Switch back over to the medium speed. I like how straight this road is. It makes it a lot easier to just go along the road like this. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I wonder, it seems like there's some stuff in this area. Can we, not there. That's close. Looks like the most you can do is about 800, and that is below my threshold. Now, El Dorado. Oh, that's in Arkansas. I wonder if that'll be a hub. I don't think so. I don't know. I kind of want to do some transit for that city, but it's in Arkansas, so we'll do that in another episode. I know I briefly mentioned it in the other ones, but if something's like right over the border and it benefits the city that we're doing and like the state that we're on, then we will go ahead and do that one connection. Like this line, for example, will be busier once we work on Arkansas. And this city here gets more transit to it. I don't know how close that cemetery is to the road or that church. This might be difficult for it to actually get approved all the way through here, otherwise. We will do a station down here. And where do we want it to go? Probably up along this road. Okay. I almost just like dragged it as if I'd already clicked on the road. I don't know, that was like a weird thing I just did. It's a little too close. 100 meters. Mad playscape? Well, why are you mad? I mean, we already went all the way here. We may as well go as far as we can now. I think that that's a pretty reasonable shift there. Can you guys hear the rain outside? I really hope that you can, because it would make this so much more relaxing, honestly. Because it's coming in the way that it's like hitting the window. And I'm on the 4th floor, so the top floor, so you can hear the rain hit the roof. It's like a metal roof, so that's also nice. It's making me sleepy, honestly. That's a pretty long line. But I feel like Arkansas doesn't really have anything I could make a hub in the southern part of the state. I mean, it'll probably end up being Monticello, because there will probably be a high-speed rail from Monroe to Little Rock, just because it'll actually be coming from down here, from these cities, and one of the stops will be in Monroe. I don't know, it'll be interesting to me to see what kind of transfers we'll get, because there will also be a high-speed rail from Dallas to Shreveport to Monroe to Jackson. So maybe Jackson might come over here and then go up too. A lot of options. Okay, well, let's go ahead and build that line out now. This is a regional one, so Monroe, Farmerville, El Dorado, MOLA 52. Is that the right numbering? Yes. Then we have 2 30 cents, and we want orange. Okay. Start there. Of course, natürlich. Just looking for the white dots is why I'm zooming out, since they're so far apart. They all have 2 nodes, it looks like. Yes, except for the end, which the end's not going to have 2 nodes. Okay. And then we are going to do the weird looking train. The markings on the top's weird. I don't even know what the train actually looks like. Edit. Edit. How many stations does this line have? 18. 257 kilometers. That's a long. That's actually the longest line that we have so far. Just thinking about like the future of what we might expect in Arkansas. I don't know. Arkadelphia. That's an interesting name. Let's see, what kind of capacity do we want? I don't think that these trains are going to be that used, honestly. think that might be fine. And then, because it's so long, maybe 4 trains. Okay, now we can open that. And we'll just let that run while we do the next line. Okay, and then we will do a station. We'll just keep it ground level because there's really not much here, it doesn't look like. Keep in mind that this is a regional train and there already is a station serving this area. Now once we get down here though, I wish we could have served that, but it doesn't make any sense really. Medium speed. That is technically over my threshold, so we will do that. That is 2, so we will do that. And then that is 2, so we will do that. Doesn't look like there's as much here, but I wanted to make sure everything was kind of, I don't know, it felt better to me to do it there. Yeah, that one, no. Maybe here? No, it looked like it was close, but maybe here? Yes, but I think I would rather do it here. Yeah, because then it barely picks that up. No. I think we may do a little thing with that town because it looks like there is some fairly dense pockets. There definitely is more we could squeeze out of that town, like coverage wise, you know. I don't like that. Nope. We'll stop here and do that. That way it doesn't curve as much. Actually, this route's so far cheaper than I thought it would be, honestly. I mean, I know we haven't built most of the rail, but just the stations alone, I thought they would cost more than that. I know that, doing it this way isn't really the preferred way. Like globally, doing it on an interstate like this, but I think that it would be, for this kind of project, as long as you did good walkability and connectivity to the catchment for like this, for example, I think that I would much rather have that than nothing, which that maybe is not a good mentality to have, but I don't think the game either punishes how far away from the station they are as long as they're in the catchment. I was watching someone play a game similar to this, and it made me realize, like, I've kind of said it before, but I also feel like some people are really passionate about this game. I feel like this is the kind of game you kind of have to be a little bit more knowledgeable on in some aspects. It's not as accessible knowledge-wise as some other games are. New line. Ruston. It's an ON, right? Yeah. MOLA 52, I think, right? Oh, that one's 51. This one is 52. Okay. And then orange and okay. I'm surprised at how many stops we was able to do along that corridor, like not in a city even. Okay, I was like, did I connect to the right platform? I did. Okay, new train, edit, and then I'm gonna take that off, that off, that off. 270. I think this one will be a lot more used because it's a shorter distance and stuff. I think I'm only gonna have 2 trains though, because the distance isn't as long. But there's a decent, oh. How do I? Orders? Yes. This, yes. Orders. I did it under the wrong one. Okay, now I think these both should be, yes, okay. Okay, now that this one, I've had the game paused the whole time. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and speed this up and see at like 8 p.m. people are using this. It's okay. Let's see. Trying to think what kind of thing I want to do now for this town. Okay, ground tram. I think we'll do one here. I think that we will then do one here. Then I think that we will do what kind of thing does this have? That's not bad. One there. One there. I mean, is that the best? No, but you would probably find a way to expand that station IRL, but we're just gonna go for underground track, technically in the game, but I don't believe in my whole heart and soul that it would actually be underground, obviously. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll go up that road. I mean, obviously in real life. Oh, actually, hold on. Tram and then underground. You would have to either go under or over those roads, with it being, I'm assuming that's an interstate. This will be a loop, so that'll be interesting. You know, I mean, this isn't that great of an area, but let's see, are we able to... I'm just looking for... I think the only... What? the station there is actually like here. Oh, that's better than I thought. I'm not interested in like overlapping with the other ones. That's an interesting station name that came up automatically. Now, I want to go down that way, okay. So, the game automatically curves that road up a little, but it wasn't that bad, so I'll let it stay. It's trying to cross the tracks over again. I hate that when that does that. Grambling corners. I was like, oh, is there like a casino here? I remember, I think, wasn't Shreveport on that Undercover Boss show before? Like the mayor of it or something like that? Obviously that's been a while, so I doubt that person's mayor anymore. Build lines. I mean, this is technically kind of a part of the Monroe hub. So Austin. And then MOLA, we'll name this 40, because it's a different cities thing, but it's like kind of a part of the hub. 20 cents, and it will be orange. There's not that much to this system thing that we just built for this town, so 6 stops, yeah, that won't be. Oh, and then Ruston, CC. That stands for counterclockwise, by the way. 41, 2, 2, orange. Honestly, I think that this would be the kind of transit system that would have to really correspond well with like a good trail network or good walkability. I don't know how big this town is, maybe a bus, but I don't know. I think people would largely be using it though to get to Monroe. Okay, and then the Novus Petard. 1 car per train. Let's just start with 1 train on each line because there's only 6 stops. Okay, and then passenger service, passenger service. I'm kind of surprised how much is up there. Schwadal? What'd that say? Dog something? Oh, Dobson. Clailborn. I think that we would have Rayville too. Well, let's see. What about a city line? Going down that road? Okay, let's go ahead and try to do something here. We are going underground because we're downtown. This one actually probably would be downtown, or underground. Maybe, I don't know. And we're gonna keep the tracks underground too. Okay, we actually need to back up some because that road that turns on, we also need to turn on. But the other direction. Because of the tracks crossing is the biggest reason why we would really need. Nope. We need to go back with that again. Underground still though. It's a little weird looking the way I built that, but that's fine. I think that we need to go this way. I just had like a song stuck in my head and I'm like, what song is that? And then I just realized, oh wait, that's my song. It's like a song that's not out yet, so I haven't really heard it that much yet. And so that's, I think, why I was a little I want to go near that still. And then I was just seeing what the coverage difference was. I mean, if I did that, then I would want to go farther down here then. Which we could, but that's going to be way less coverage then, though. My fucking god, why does it keep doing that? Yeah, I think we're just not going to serve Tanglewood. This one's going to be a pretty small line. Unless we have it go somewhere else. Oh, we could have this line go that way. Let's go ahead and do that. Underground still, because that's the way this is already. Where are we going here, though? Okay. It can be ground level, that's fine. Does that catch it? Mostly. I think that's fine. Now, where do I need to turn? I see, okay. So, most of the way up here. And then I wonder if we went down from the station and then down to like, there's no major roads other than the interstate. There is this, but that's not far enough south to get any of this. I want maybe to go along this then, to like, maybe even all the way to here and then go south. I don't know if that's going to pick up everything I want, though. We could also have a regional one go down through here and catch people that way, too. And go down to, Jonesboro was where we're wanting to go. I feel like it almost may make more sense to down from that, but that isn't making Monroe a hub, though, then. Is Chatham, is there enough people here for... No, there's not enough people there for a station. What about, like, even in here? There is. There's, like, extra buttons on my keyboard to the left of the escape button, down the side. And it always is really hard to find my escape button because of that. It's really kind of annoying. wonder if this is even a major road. Okay. I mean, we're not going to take advantage of the full speed of the medium speed tracks. I think in real life you would find a way to be able to just achieve the 80 kilometers per hour that the Novus Petard can, but that's not a reality in this game, so... Oh, that was it. Oh my fucking god. I honestly kind of want to do it off with that. Oh, that's true. We could do that too. Monroe, 2-line. Is there a space there? No, and some of these other ones did have a space. Actually, all of them have a space other than that. I don't know what's up with the one line and not putting spaces, but anyways. M-O-L-A. I started with 1 and not, okay. I was like, did I start with 1 or 0? 2, 20, orange. Cannot find path. Why? Did something happen there? That might be it if I don't see anything else. Oh. Okay. No, we don't fucking want a god. Oh my fucking goddamn. I hate this goddamn keyboard. The Corsair keyboard with like the G1 through G6 keys, don't get it. It's a fucking awful keyboard. Have fun ever finding your escape button when you need it. let's make sure it goes in order now. Downtown to that. To that. I still feel like we're in like not the right order, but okay. Anyways. Trains. How many stops is on that? 10. I want to say we could maybe get 2, but that may be overkill for only 10 stops. I don't know. Two cars on each train might have been overkill too, but I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and do, we are going to do an underground station here. Because we're going to do underground tracks. Just to get over to this road. And then we're going to switch back to ground level. So a very short and brief underground segment. Okay, and then we are going to do a stop there. Okay, and then we are going to do medium speed and go to the side of the road. Okay. I feel like this looks like this is probably actual train tracks. So we're just gonna follow what I assume appears to be actual train tracks. Oh, let's just test here to see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and delete a segment of this just so that we can do that. think Delhi is where we'll stop, and then Tallulah will be part of Jackson. I think that's what we'll do. Station, tram station. What kind of density? Nope. I don't think it really looks like it would change that much. Okay. Tram. Then medium speed. Saxonia? You know what's funny is the shirt that I was wearing in the last 2 episodes, that was my recording shirt. And I was only wearing it for recording. But then yesterday I wore it on that bike ride I was talking about earlier. And so because of that, I felt like it was not clean enough to do that with anymore. That's not going to be too bad. Okay, and then lines. Monroe. No. Yeah, Monroe. Rayville. Delhi. MO. LA. 53. Wonder why it's showing up there. Oh, maybe it's doing it by name and not number or like code, I mean. Orange. Okay. What does that say? Wochita Parish, maybe? Unless that's... Oh, I don't know if I'm pulling the OUA thing being like a W sound from French, or I think that maybe some Native American languages might have done that too. I like to think that this used to be Schwarz. Now it's turned into Swartz. Leisure Village by Pecan Bayou. It's funny to me because I know that word's divisive as to how people say it, so at least one person's gonna, that's not how you say that, to me. I could do a station or a line from here along the interstate to here too. Which I know that's like a regional connector, but like, I guess I could also stop the interstate thing here and then go up and connect to that. Okay, we did have medium speed track on that, so we do need to probably do this. It is gonna be for that line before I forget. Delete. Four cars, but it's only 270 max passengers there, so maybe that, and then maybe 2 trains. That feels reasonable. How many stops is it though? I don't think it's that many, right? Yeah. But I feel like this might be maybe kind of busy. Maybe not. I feel like I'm overhyping it. There's also maybe the possibility of going south from Rayville to Winsboro. Is this town worth going down to though? It's not open. Passenger service. No, it is like 2:30 in the morning on the game. So none of these are going to be busy, but let's go ahead. Neither of these, I do want to preface it before we even start this. I'm going to be doing this wrong, I'm sure. And also, like, this isn't going to do well right now anyways. Now, this is going to be underground. We're going to go -3. High speed and -3. We are going to be doing it. Okay, we're going to go under this. I think -300 is what we want to go for, or 300 meters. Should I go 400? I don't think we need 400. Is there blueprints somewhere other than this, or this one station cost that much? Obviously this is going to eventually go over to something over here in Texas. Maybe Longview? I don't know, probably Tyler. I don't know. Anyways, it's gonna go over there though. And eventually to Dallas. But for now, it won't be successful because it's just gonna go back and forth between Shreveport and Monroe. Now, what do I want to go down to get there? I think near this interstate most of the way would be nice. So maybe we'll just go up over here. Okay, and then speed at ground level. I should not have done that, actually. We're gonna stay -3. I think it will maybe, I'm gonna try to do as much of this above ground as possible. Obviously projects like this definitely require land to be taken. We are going to go underground here for this section. We'll just do -1 though. I think that it would not go. There's a lot of cemeteries here. Holy shit. We'll try to go in between those. I don't know how, I have discussed this before. My high-speed rail construction is probably going to be unrealistic because I just don't know how it gets built. I don't know what the requirements really are behind it. I don't know, how likely I am to actually be able to do this. We're gonna go underground from that intersection there, but just a little underground. And this is ground. We're gonna have to go underground here just to maintain speed and get back up to ground level again. I'm surprised it's able to go through that at ground level. I think all of our high-speed projects that we do in this game is going to be really expensive. And I honestly think that that is to be expected. I think that we have somewhat above ground. We've definitely gone underground more than I thought that we was going to. Let's go underground here just to get on the other side. Of that, and then we'll go back above ground again. Imagine you're going down the interstate and you have a train just like absolutely fly past you. Okay, -1 again. I think in actuality, this track and the regional rail track would be separate from each other but integrated in a way that it wouldn't be redundant in this way, though. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I'm gonna go underneath ground here just for this rest stop, maybe it looks like. I don't know. Then we can go back to ground level, it looks like. Not tram, oh my god, can you imagine? -1. I think we're entering the town area again, so I think that we would largely see underground construction here, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I really have no idea when it comes to high-speed rail. I know most of you are probably like, yeah, we can tell. -3, and then that is not what we want. We want a station. That is probably quite bad, and it's very expensive, and like I said, this won't even be successful. Yeah, it will be eventually once we, build out the Dallas network, connect it to that, and build out the Jackson network and connect it to that. That alone, I think, will make it viable. But honestly, even just Shreveport to Dallas, I don't know about viable, but I don't think it will be as bad as we think. As long as Dallas has its own system set up already. If I disconnected it right now, the game doesn't take into account the transit that Dallas already has. So it wouldn't. Anyways, what train do I want to use? I think this is the one that I used in my other game. Roleva. Now, okay, so both of the heads can hold the same amount of passengers as the inners does. And it is, how long is this? 200 meters, so we could expand this. What about 480? What about 150 meters, half of the length of the platform right now? It can only hold 360 passengers, which I think will be enough for what we have right now. Honestly, we probably could even go less. -240 passengers, 100 meters. This is a really small train for a high-speed train, but it wouldn't be. Oh, we don't even have the line built. Let's go build the line. I want all of the high speed in the US to be the same color. So maybe indigo. Let me take you through a little thing real quick. This is red. This is orange. This is yellow. This is green. This is blue. This is indigo. This is violet. This is pink. This is red again. Roy G. Biv. Except pink isn't in that, but anyways, there's 7 colors in the rainbow and people always miss them, specifically indigo, and the difference between blue and indigo is that's blue and that's indigo. They are very different colors. You can have a different opinion, that's fine, but I'm always right anyways. To see something here too. This will be a very small line, obviously. Oh, the train is still there for us. Oh, we didn't name it, but that's fine. We just need one of these trains for now. When we add other cities to it later on, we will expand that more, but lines, I didn't name it. For now, we'll just name it Shreveport to Monroe. High speed. High speed. I feel like I want to do a naming system similar to the interstate system. What about if we did even numbers going east and west and odd numbers going north and south, and this area of the country roughly could be like 0 through 100, and then like 100 to 200, 200, 300, something like that. Although if that was the case, I think it would be more like this part of the country would be 0 to 100. We're not going to have 100 high-speed lines though in that. Maybe 0 to 100 in this. I don't know. My point being, that's my general thought right now. I think that there will be one a little bit closer to the bottom, but I think this will be the second one in the end, maybe. So high 3. Base ticket price. I don't know. I don't know what's reasonable for high speed. 250? 40 cents? Like I said, I don't feel like that's really the way most transit prices it, so I don't really know. That's just what we're gonna do. I don't know, let's go ahead and go down to 2 and then 30, because this is a pretty useless line right now. We can reevaluate the price later once we add more to it. I am going to be curious as to how this performs once it's open. Let's speed up to where the train spawns. Oh, okay, the train's there now. Arrives in 30 and a half minutes, and we just picked up in Shreveport. Actually, that's more people on it than I thought would be, but that goes to show like how well we build up, especially Shreveport. Monroe's not perfect, but we definitely do have good connections though, especially regional ones. from Monroe, it's completely full. 31 minutes going back, so maybe it was 31 going the other way, but either way, I want to see now on a car how fast would it be? Monroe, Louisiana, directions from Shreveport. It would be an hour and a half in a car. Oh yeah, so a huge reduction in time to take the high speed, and you obviously can't fly between them, so we would have the fastest way between them. Let me see going back if the Shreveport one's full. Let's see here. It isn't full going back. There is a lot of people at the Shreveport station though now. This is going to be a huge boost to that. I think this makes sense though too, because Shreveport's the bigger city out of the two. So I think that people from Monroe actually would probably rather go there than people from Shreveport going to Monroe. You know, I assume that there's probably going to be a lot of people at this station. That's not, okay, it is full, but I do want to see this station. Oh. Most of those people are probably waiting on the high-speed train. Okay, well, let's go ahead then and replace the train with it will catch up to itself. Obviously, it would not be in this state currently, but we're just going to go ahead and make it the 200 meters that it starts out with by default. Now, obviously, yeah, that's not going to be full, but that is full still. Still, it's full going back. And actually, there's just as many people at this station. I mean, I know it's 11 a.m., but honestly, the running cost isn't that bad. Like, we are making most of our money back. I mean, we are losing money still, but especially once we have this going to major things and we have more passengers on it, to where it's full both ways, that's when we will see more. Yeah, going back from Shreveport is not super full, but once Shreveport connects to Dallas, then we will see better. I'm wondering now, because I think we're going to probably end this here, but let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to do next, because I don't know if I'll have posted this already by the time. Probably not. I love making these, and I'm probably going to have way too many made, so these will probably never come out like in time to where I can change anything. I had a hangnail there, and it was really bothering me. Anyways, we'll probably do the middle of the state next. Probably work out from Alexandria to connect some things, and once Alexandria is all connected, which it doesn't look like there's too much in the city itself, like there's not going to be too much city lines. There will be some, but not like crazy amount. We'll build all the regional ones for that area, and then how are we going to connect Alexandria up to up here? Do we want it to go to both Shreveport and Monroe? Or do we want it to just go to one or the other? think it makes more sense if we're doing a north and south corridor here to go from Lafayette or maybe Baton Rouge. No, Lafayette up to Alexandria, then Monroe, and then probably like Monticello, probably Monticello. That'll have to be a regional hub though, connecting up to other smaller towns near it, because it's not super big itself. Anyways, up to Little Rock. That might be kind of the end of that area. I don't know, we'll see. But I think that makes a little bit more sense than like going over here. Although if we go to Shreveport, we could go up to Texarkana. And that could have a line going that way. That is true. I do think Shreveport would be more of a destination than Monroe. Maybe what's here, Lake Charles. I think it makes more sense from Lafayette to Alexandria to Shreveport. Okay. Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, it's not full. Was that? Oh, because it's in the afternoon. Well, anyways, this has been a real one. I think maybe the price could be adjusted too. I think that we're going to bleed a lot overnight too, so we need to have a surplus in the daytime. That's right now though. We will end up having this line be probably profitable by the end. I'm more curious as to the ridership numbers that we could achieve though, because you know that China loses money on their high speed that they built that doesn't really go to destinations until they build the destinations, you know. Very happy about that. How does this Ruston area going? I mean, I know it's 8 p.m., but oh, okay. It's not doing terrible. That's doing... Oh, this one's doing really good. To El Dorado. Well, this one's doing good too. Oh, no, it's not. I read that wrong. It's doing fine, but this one's doing well. I'm surprised actually that one's doing well. Well, this one, what about, because it's struggling to pick up people up here in El Dorado, I think that we could do just one of these trains, replace it, and just like make one of them be able to carry a lot more, because I don't think that would cost that much, and even if it does back up, that train will end up catching up everything. I think I might have went a little overkill, honestly, but it is also 11 o'clock at night. So I think in the middle of the day tomorrow, that would do well. I'm kind of scared to look at the numbers too much just because of the way the financial days work on this. I don't think that this is like the peak part of the day, so what about the previous day? All of them are probably negative, I would assume. I don't think I've done the pricing that well. I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. And,